I'll try to keep this brief because your time is very valuable, I know. I've either started or gone back to using a pocket notebook, depending on how you look at it. The purpose of this video will be to say at least one or two things that might be interesting to you as someone using a pocket notebook. Anything that I can share that might make it more easy or fun for you. Basically, this stitch, where it's stitched all the way around, this works best for my pocket. I'm a very I destroy these in my pocket. Like they go, look at this. You know, there's a bunch of, I don't know, pardon my language, but there's a bunch of corrosive sweat or something. And so there's the stitched binding that happens with these things, and then with these composition books has been the most flexible for me. That's a handmade. This is a staple. If you're gonna get staples, do the 2 staples. Best method is one staple at like 1/4 and then another staple at like 3/4, okay? Because otherwise you get, like with these field notes, you get the thing in the middle where it's like cutting, the one in the middle is like cutting into the paper. I don't like that. Also, be aware that like if you get something like this that has ink on the cover, it will wear off. Generally, I would choose a pocket notebook that stands to be beautified by being used a bunch. You know, like if you like wear, and that's beautiful to you, go for that. Don't go for something that's beautiful and it's going to get less beautiful in the wash. Another thing I'll say is that you can make your own. Like this is made out of an old folder. Like my mom had this old folder of mine, and basically it had these Rambos on it, and I just kind of cut some out, and then like I made this a 40-page notebook. There's like 10 page turns till you get to the staple, and then 10 page turns after that. So total of like 40 kind of what we would call pages. Another thing is I don't think that it's better to either just commonplace or write little poems in them. I think you should commonplace and put things that you like, that you hear, or put in quotes from books, etc., and good words, because it'll give you a pleasure if like you're stuck on the train and this is all, or on the bus, and this is all you have to read, and you flip back through, there'll be a lot of things to read that you're really gonna like and that are really gonna keep you focused on what kind of stuff you like, for what that's worth. I am very unpublished as an author, and I probably will never be published as an author. But you should also use the space constraint of a small page as a poem writing constraint. You should also just like see if you can just speak for just this amount of time. It'll keep you from, I have a problem where I write too much, I think. Like it's okay to start a poem with nothing and then just kind of go off of association. But I think for a long time was writing things that were too long, and the small pages here are helpful as a constraint. Local printers are best. This is, what is this group here? Mordecai Book Building in Madison area. Very good. They're extremely good. Like the cover stock they use is like amazing. Their paper is very high quality. It's like Fabriano or something. And then another thing that I'll say while I'm here is that this, I try to put words that I think about a lot I thought that I learned while keeping the pocket notebook here in the front. See, like, here it is. I forget Deodand. Fugitive is good. My most recent one was this field notes one, which I did not like because I don't like the ostentatiousness of field notes on the front. Sometimes it just takes me out of it. I'd rather just put my own insignia on it, you know, or have something that doesn't, I don't know, something with fewer associations, something where you can kind of make your own meaning out of it. The field notes is too prescriptive. It's like, I'm going out into the field and gathering notes. Are you sure that's what you're doing? You know, it's just, the contrarian in me doesn't like it. The main thing with this was that staple problem that basically made me think, okay, field notes, whatever, if I acquire them, that's fine in the future, but they're just not gonna go in my pocket. This Write in the Rain thing belongs to kind of a group of thing, or a kind of thing. So basically these were like old pocket notebooks that I had in a drawer, and you can, here's another thing. Don't be afraid to go back into something where you filled up part of it and go back in and sort of fill the rest of it in a new era, like as a new person. That's just, there's nothing to fear there. For some reason I had a neurosis about that, but I can report that it's stupid to obey that, and I think that you're wasting paper and wasting your time if you're worried about that kind of thing. The rounded edge becomes important, I think. When you're reaching into your pocket, the sharp edge can get you. They used to make these top flights somewhere else. Where did they make them? They used to make them in China, right? And they used to have the rounded edges. Now they all have the sharp edges. Of course, they round off naturally over time. But the one I'm using right now, I've got a new one in my pocket right now, a new green one. Because I'm going back to this because I need the stitch and etc. And it's just so much space. It's so addictive to have this much space. They round off fast, but when you first get the sharp edge, when you reach in, it can cut you. So not cut you, but you know, it can be unpleasant or just slightly uncomfortable. So for what that's worth, beware of that. Also, this was terrible. This Muji thing was terrible because it has the 2 signatures. And in my pocket where things get bent in the middle here, it was like really wreaking havoc on the construction of this. And these were like falling out. It was not a good sight. So I am sticking to only one signature or one quire, whatever you call it. I'm sticking to one thing where it's just pages wrapped around once for the future. Because I do not like the way they disintegrate. Like multiple of those can come apart. Does that make sense? Like mostly this exercise is just fun and pleasant, but there is a part of me that just, the reason I'm doing this is I think largely because of that W.G. Sebald quote. It's this: there has to be a libidinous delight in finding things and stuffing them in your pockets. A libidinous delight. So I just kind of, every time I wonder, like, am I stuffing too many things in my pockets? Well, I just wonder, like, is my delight libidinous? And I think, yeah, it's close enough to that to justify doing this. But to kind of, I'm trying to work on building a bridge between this and some practical application. So I could make more videos about this kind of thing if this interests people. It might, I don't know. But I want to try to like start bridging the gap between the stuffing in the pockets and like actually trying to start a piece of writing and work on being a writer and editor of something. So, and for instance, this thing that I just filled, what I did was I thought, well, what I'll do is everything that looks like a poem already, I'll type it up and make a little book and then stuff it in the book so that like they're more easily usable as references for cool things or lines of poetry because there's a clean copy of some stuff already in it. Now there's a lot of issues with that already, which is that of course I can't easily get it to fit in and store nicely. But then also the fact that this just kind of captures anything that was written down and looks like a poem. And it doesn't capture all of the little bits that you write in there. Like a smile with deep sadness behind it. An emphatic smile with deep sadness behind it is always funny. Or, and let's not speak of settlements that aren't to speak of. Things like that. Those things you still just kind of have to go back and dig through. I don't see how things like that can be easily indexed. I think another thing that I could do, I started copying out into like my bigger poem notebook, my like sage green notebook. This is the sage green thing. Sage green is a trendy color right now. I got this nice thing, and one thing I did recently was to copy out kind of every sentence that seemed like halfway good from a recent Mad Lib book that I did. And that seemed good because if this is where I'm going to go, if a friend's like, have you been writing anything lately? Can you type something up and just send me it because that would be funny to see? Then I'll see those lines. Because like this is where I go first, this kind of poem notebook. This is what that page looked like. It was just a bunch of sentences. I mentioned Sebald as somebody who I'm thinking about when I think about justifying keeping little pocket notebooks. And the other person is Daniel Handler, who says somewhere that what he does to begin like a draft of something long, I think kind of basically out of nothing, maybe knowing maybe just the general genre, like it's a novel or it's a children's novel or it's a memoir or something. He I don't know what he starts with, but he keeps a pocket notebook, and then at the end, once the pocket notebook is filled, he goes through the pocket notebook and copies out onto separate index cards each cool thing from the pocket notebook, and then you can shuffle those and quickly visually give yourself a sense of what kinds of through lines there are, what would go well together, what would be even just funny juxtapositions for people who don't really have a preconceived idea of what they're writing. So Sebald, Daniel Handler. And thanks for listening to me talk about my notebooks. I really like watching notebook videos, but I kind of get easily bored by them, which is why I'm trying to just say top of mind the most important things that some interesting things that I've found. I'm trying not to spend too much time. But if you'd like more videos like this, please let me know, and I can just easily talk about any aspect of any notebook. I also want to say, please do send me mail. You can email me and like send, if you email me and want to like send your stuff to me, or I'll send my stuff to you. That's really fun. I was doing it with a subscriber recently, and I think that's really fun. Maybe more on that soon, but yeah, everyone's should feel free to email me about anything you're reading or anything. So yeah, happy reading, everybody.